Okay, we should be live if you can hear me say something.
My vicarious visions. It's Crash Bandicoot.
Okay, nice. So, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Crash, and this is a Q&A stream to celebrate the fact that we just reached 250 subscribers. 273 actually at the time of the recording, which is 2 more than we had just a couple of minutes ago, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, thanks everyone. If there's any problem with the sound, like the gaming sound being too loud or my voice being too low, just please say so. And we're gonna play Crash Insane Trilogy. We're gonna play Crash Bandicoot 2 because it's the only one that I don't have a save on. So yeah. And thank you, Edward. I tried to make him on part of the stream since I don't have a webcam. Thanks, Susie. Okay, so I have a couple of questions that people have asked me in my YouTube channel, in the last video, on Twitter, and on AniList. So I kind of want to answer those, and then if everyone else has the question as well, I'll answer them. And thank you, Akriti. So the first question that I have, it's by Luxon, and he asks, what's my subscriber goal for the end of 2021? Fuck. So my subscriber goal would be to reach 1,000 subscribers. I think it's not asking too much. Wait, I'm really bad at this. There we go. I don't think it's asking too much to reach 1,000 subscribers, having in mind that I have 250 in like 3 months. So, I mean, if I keep the growth that I'm having, 1K is not asking. But I'm ready to kind of stagnate as well. So if I reach 500, I'd be happy. But if I can reach 1,000, yeah. That'll be awesome. Okay, level 1. And Jazz asked if I plan on doing character analysis in various ways of how a character is developed in different genres of manga, like shoujo, shonen, etc. Okay, so the thing is, I really like to do character analysis or just analysis video in general. I'm not sure if that's my strongest point, but it's a thing that I kind of want to try to do at least at a certain point. Also, welcome, Ketchup. But yeah, as far as the actual topic, like if I can a video about the different characters and how they're developed. I'm not sure if I could do a video on that specific topic, but I could try. That's bad of me. The character analysis is kind of hard. Just analysis in general. I don't have double. I keep I keep thinking I have double jump, and I don't have it because it's the start of the game. Yeah, a deep analysis of Lavina. That is actually something I was planning on doing. Not sure if a deep analysis, but a video on Lavina because it's a manga that I really like. And so the video I did on Doredoro, which was it's called a love letter to Doredoro. The idea was to have a love letter to Lavina as well, and that be a video. Killen asks how long I'm gonna stream. So I'm gonna stream. I'm not sure. Like I was thinking about like an hour and a half. I can go for a maximum of 2 hours. More than that I can't. So also I just wanted to give a shout out to Jazz, just because he helped me a lot. Like in the first couple of videos, like even before I make the channel, and even after I made the channel, like yesterday, he and a couple of others took a little bit to help me like set up the stream and try and do a tryout stream. So yeah, thank you to everyone. I still need to read Negima, but or rather, I read a little bit of Negima. I think you commented this yesterday. But I read it and I didn't like it that much when I read it because it was too different from Lavina, because it has a little bit of Aram, but it's more of a battle shonen, and I don't know, that was not what I was looking for at the time. I'm gonna try to read it again. What's one manga you like / ate but wouldn't tell anyone? So a manga that I like but I wouldn't tell anyone. First of all, if I had one, I wouldn't say it. But I don't. I'm not someone who has like these guilty pleasures. If I like a manga, I'll tell you, like, I like this manga. Maybe I'll tell you like this manga is bad, or it's not that good but I like it because it's fun or something like that. I still need to read Yuki Older as well, but since I haven't read Negima, that's for later. And so Silverwind asked me if I hope for Jump to improve their system, being it better at axing system or less overworking for mangaka. And also if I thought that Manga Plus was a more healthy option for mangaka. So to tackle the second question first, if I think Manga Plus is an healthy option for mangaka, I don't think it's an healthy option. I don't think it changes much the way that they work. I think it's something that is necessary because of all the piracy, because of like all of us can just pirate anything very, very easily. So Manga Plus is, by giving us like free manga so easily, it's something that needs to exist. And if I hope for Jump to improve on their system, I'd like them to improve. I don't think they will. I don't think they will because they have been doing this since 1968. Like, so there's really, I don't see any reason why they would change what they're doing if it's working for them and has been working for decades. And like all the other manga magazines do the same. It's not just Shonen Jump, like Shonen Sunday and Shonen Magazine work exactly the same. So there's no reason for them to bother to change. God damn it. So looking at your list, I have seen you don't read much Jump Square. If there is any reason, there isn't really any reason. I generally tend to look for Shonen Jump, for weekly Shonen Jump manga to read. But as for the other magazines, I don't tend to do that. So unless I find something interesting, I don't read it. But I've read a couple of Jump Square. Claymore is Jump Square, for example. What's the latest manga you've read that surprised you in a positive or negative way? So and it's the manga that I'm reading right now, which is Okuro no Ken. And it surprised me because I don't like... There's a lot of 80s manga that I don't like. For example, I'm not a biggest fan of like early JoJo, and Okuro no Ken especially looks very similar to early JoJo, so I was actually a little bit expecting to not like it. But I did. It's really great. I haven't finished it yet. I'm on chapter 100 and something. But it's pretty good. So I'm gonna keep reading it. And I'm gonna do a video on it and other manga for the Shonen Jump Challenge. So 90% of the X manga are terrible, deserve to be X. I won't say 90%. So the thing is, for a manga to simply reach a point where it's published in Jump, it has to have some level of quality that some other manga from lesser known magazines probably don't have. But yeah, there's a lot of manga from Jump that's really bad, and especially like X manga. There's a lot of X manga that are bad, I will admit that. Jump Plus still releases weekly, like regular Jump, sure, KG, yeah. Yeah, mostly a weekly, so even if they aren't weekly from Jump Plus, it's like bi-weekly, so it does give them a little bit to work on, but not that much, I think. What's the first ever manga that made you say, holy, I need to read more? I don't know. I'm gonna say Bleach. Like, if we're talking like the very, very first, Bleach is probably the one, because it's the one that I remember reading it and liking it a lot, like from the get-go. And Naruto as well. One Piece, it took me a little while, like I mentioned in the Big 3 video, it took me a little while for me to get into One Piece. But Bleach, I just loved it. Rao is one of the best Shonen Jump films. I'm liking Raho. I haven't seen too much of him, but what I've seen, I liked him. Manga X being down has definitely solved my challenge, probably. Same. Same. Just like reading manga in general, just that slowed me down. Thoughts on Devilman and Shin Devilman? Okay, so I like Devilman. I think Devilman, I don't want to say it's overrated, but I think it hasn't aged that well. But it's still good. I think it's that level of insanity. I missed 2 boxes, damn it. I think Devilman's that level of insanity where even if it hasn't aged well, it's still fun to read overall. Like, the dialogues are just so bizarre that they're fun. I don't like Shin Devilman at all. It makes no sense. It looks too chaotic. I don't like it. So as for the other questions, on Twitter, Rene asked, please tell us how you fell in love with this medium of storytelling, and if you could experience any manga for the first time again, which one would you pick? If I could experience one from the start, I would probably say One Piece. Just because it's such a massive and fun world full of mystery. There's still a lot to find out and discover in One Piece, but I'd like to be able to just experience that for the first time again. As for how I started, well, I kind of mentioned this on the Big 3 video as well, but like a lot of my friends were into Naruto in high school, and so they mentioned like a lot. So I started reading Naruto and One Piece. I started watching actually. But then I had like really bad internet connection. I started as an anime man, yes. since I had really bad internet connection, what I did was I started to read manga. Like a friend of mine mentioned that I could read manga because he was reading Full Metal Alchemist manga because Brotherhood wasn't a thing back then. And so I just started like reading Naruto by manga and a couple of other anime that I was watching on TV because we had a channel. We had a channel that just dedicated to anime, and so I started like reading Lavina and Tsubasa Chronicles and other things like that. But like eventually I just stopped watching anime. I haven't watched anime for real since 2013 because I just like manga more. So like any anime version better than the manga originals. So again, I don't watch too much anime. I can look, for example, at the little that I've seen from Demon Slayer from Yaiba. The anime seems way better, but I never actually watched the anime from beginning to end, so I wouldn't be able to tell you for real. Thanks, World D Champion. Oh, actually, one anime that I like more than the manga is FLCL. But that's like the anime is the original. So that's why I think the anime is still better than the manga. But the manga, I think the manga is a bit underrated. I think the manga is still like an interesting read. A lot of people just kind of shit on the manga. I think it's if you like FLCL, you should still check out the manga. So Zapkill asked me, what are some item gems you wish more people knew about? And I made a little list here. So, okay, so the first one that I wanted to say that is an item gem, that I think is an item gem, I don't see many people talking about this one, is Kasane. And I'm gonna do a video on that as well, eventually. I just think Kasane is really good. It's like this story about a really, really ugly girl that is a great actress, but but people wouldn't give her a job just because of how monstrous she looks. And she finds out that she has a way of changing faces with people for a couple of hours only. And the rest of the manga, like, you could expect, because this is an horror manga, kinda, you could expect like this is her like trying to steal faces and being super cheesy, but not at all. This is kind of like a very like dramatic story about like this moral dilemma of her, of like using her power and kind of removing yourself. Like people are seeing your beauty or her ugliness. It's a really deep story, and if you haven't read Kasane, I really advise you guys to check it out. Then other picks that I have that I'm not gonna talk too much about them is one of them is Soil, which is kind of like this very weird mystery manga that, I mean, it's a bit supernatural. It's very bizarre. You guys should check it out. If you like mindfuck manga, read Soil. Then I have Biomeat Nectar, which is, I don't think it's for everyone. It's kind of like this cheesy BR movie. Oh, hi Silver. I actually answered your question a little while ago. Sorry. So Biomeat Nectar is, if you like horror movies, if you like these cheesy monster movies, like The Evil Dead, for example, you'll probably like Biomeat Nectar. If you don't, then you probably won't. And the other final pick that I have is Blazing Transfer Student, which is just like this 80s comedy manga, like this parody manga of basically of battle and sports manga of the time. And it's very stupid, but it's fun. It's just so funny. And I did a review of it on Anilist. It's the only review there, so you guys can check it out when you have the time. We just kill these and I'll look at the chat. So why do you prefer manga over anime? So that's actually a question that people ask me as well on Twitter. And there's many reasons. I kind of plan to do a full-on video about why I preferred manga. Dicehead, if you aren't subscribed to Dicehead, you should. Dicehead27, I think it's the name. He just did a video on why he likes manga more than anime. So I want to wait a little while, so it doesn't look like I ripped him off. But it's an idea that I've had, and I want to do it as a video as well. So stay tuned for that. If I've watched live-action sequel to Blazing Transfer Student, I didn't. I didn't knew it was a sequel. I actually thought it was just adaptation. So I know a friend of mine watched it, and he said it was nice. It was funny. So I guess I have to watch it now. It's just the humor. It's my kind of humor. I just love it. What's my favorite genre? I have a couple. Film sequel. Okay, I'm gonna check it. My favorite genre. I have a couple of favorite genres. I'd say, because I really like comedy. I really like guy comedy. I love horror, like in general. Just in general, if anything horror related, like Silent Hill, Alien. These are some of my favorite franchises. Because I started watching horror very, very early in my life. I started watching, I watched the Alien movies, the quadrilogy, when I was 8 years old. So horror is just part of my life. So yeah, I would say that. I also really like rom-coms and horror manga in general. Do you read manga adaptations from anime originals like Code Geass and Madoka? I kind of want to. I haven't read many. I've read Infinite Stratus, which is one of the worst manga that I've read. I've read Air, which is one of the worst manga that I've read. And I've read FLCL, which I do like. So, I don't know, like, most of these aren't that good, so I'm a bit afraid of trying more. But I kind of want to check out. I kind of want to read, for example, Neon Genesis Evangelion manga. I've heard it's good. So, that's one I want to check out. How did I learn English? I mean, I just kind of always learned it. Like, I had it in school since my 4th grade, so that helps a lot. And then I just kept watching things in English, because in Portugal you don't have dubbed movies. You have dubbed movies, but it's like kids movies and such. So if you want to watch any live action movie, it's gonna have subtitles. So it helps you a lot at absorbing the English. And then just started writing a lot, interacting with people, doing role plays and stuff, and writing contests. I just started learning a lot of English and grammar. And a lot of people correct me, even now. A lot of people just kind of correct me on my grammar, because I know it's not the best one. But at least I'm proud of my pronunciation of it. It's not the best, but I think it's at least good. It's one of the worst anime I've seen. Actually, I read the manga of Infinite Stratus because a friend of mine recommended it to me. He said it was good, so that's on him. What's my favorite Delinquent and time travel manga? My favorite Delinquent manga is Beelzebub. Rookies as well, but my favorite one is Beelzebub. And my favorite time travel manga is... it's not a manga. I'm gonna say Steins Gate, which I've watched the anime, never read the manga. But Steins Gate's just so good. it's my favorite anime. And favorite manga, I guess I'd say Orange. Orange is really good. And I'm not gonna comment more on on roleplays. I'm just gonna leave it there. Makes sense. Delinquent and time travel. Okay, if Tokyo Revengers is Delinquent and time travel, I'm 100% guaranteed to like it. Yeah, I like Orange. I like Orange. So Big Talkie asked me. I shouldn't have been doing this. I should jump like I did the first time. Big Talkie asked me what's my least favorite Jump series, and so this is like my least favorite Jump series is always gonna be the next manga, because they aren't a lot of them aren't that good, and because they're never like sorry, I need to count how many jumps I'm doing. Fuck. So my least favorite is always gonna be in the Castle manga, because they get like the ending is excellent and just makes it worse. So my least favorite is Our Blood Oath, which is a very recent one, and I think it's very directionless. Directionless. Doesn't have any direction. And the other that I really don't like is Guardian of the Witch. I think Guardian of the Witch is one of the most boring Jump manga that I read. But if we're gonna say manga that isn't cancelled, I'm gonna have to say Saint Seiya. I just don't like Saint Seiya in general. I cannot speak and count the number of jumps I'm doing, so that's why I'm always dying there. So I'm gonna have to probably stop. But yeah, so I don't like Ayakashi, but it's not my least favorite manga. I think it still has a decent amount of things that are good. Would you buy the Viz subscription if it was available on my country? So fun fact, I'm paying the Viz subscription. I'm using a VPN to pay it. So if it was available in my country, I most definitely would buy it as well. And I very much would like to have it available in some capacity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm thinking that Manga Plus probably will eventually be like the Viz subscription. I'm hoping it will, so I can spend money. What manga do you recommend me to buy physically? That's another one. I don't like to just kind of like recommend a manga without knowing the tastes of people. I'm reading Bakuman right now, so worthy. Bakuman is one I really like. Like if you can buy the box set, which I did, it's pretty good and you get like the entire thing, because it's the 20 volumes, unlike some box sets like One Piece box set or like Naruto box set that you have to buy multiple. With Bakuman it's done. It's a bit expensive. I paid 80 euros or 90 euros for it, but it's totally worth it. So yeah, if you want just one that is very short, and if you like Bakuman you may like it as well, I would say All You Need Is Kill. The edition looks very... I don't have it. I'm recommending you to buy it, but I don't actually have it. But I've seen it, I've had it in my hand, and I mean the manga itself is good, and it's pretty cheap, it's pretty short, so there's not many reasons not to buy that. I probably will buy it eventually. So Zaki... Okay, so I don't have any more questions on the chat. I like Kinship asked me what's an interesting genre concept mashup that I would like to read. I was actually thinking about this one earlier, because I think... Okay, so I'm from the belief that pretty much every concept can be done well. It's all about execution. Fuck. And there's a lot of concepts, a lot of genre mashups that exist So I was toying with this idea of like something just completely out of left field, because I like doing that. And the idea I came up with was a sports horror manga. I don't think I've ever seen a sports horror manga. If you guys have seen a sports horror manga, please tell me. And I thought about like 2 ways one could go about this. And so one way you could do it would be to just go on the lazy way and do a Datke. And so like, for example, a football manga or whatever, and just the people, like the team who loses or the person loses just kind of like dies or something, and that's kind of like a cheesy way, but you can kind of do it like that. And the other way I was thinking is kind of do it more of like a psychological take on it, and kind of just like imagine. Now I need to to organize my thoughts. Sorry, but like imagine a manga where it's about like the psychological like you have the best guy. So for example, a boxing manga, and you have like the best guy in the world, the champion, and it's just like about his fear of losing, or of like the popularity creeping onto him, like being stalked by fans. Or I'm thinking of something like Gone Girl, for example, where it's about like the media perception of the person, but taken into like a sports and like a someone who's famous. And you probably don't need to do it sports. I think I never seen Perfect Blue, but I think Perfect Blue it's kind of like that. I'm missing one level. I'm missing this one. So yeah, I kind of would like to see something like that. That Tube. I haven't read That Tube. Jigoku Koshin, Blue Lock, but actually killing people. Yeah. That Real Soccer Football Series you take on genre. Okay, I need to check Blue Lock. Do you think there's too many Demon Exorcist manga in Jump? I don't like. Yeah, kinda. I still think we do have. I think I've done this level, didn't I? I'm confused. So I think there's too many Exorcist manga. I think the problem is that there's also been a lot that has been cancelled, but they're still very fresh in our minds, like Bone Collection, for example. Then yeah, we have Akeshi Triangle, we have Jujutsu Kaisen, we have Chainsaw Man, kinda like Jujutsu Kaisen. We have Phantom Seer. We had our Blood Oath, which technically wasn't Exorcist manga, but kinda was at the same time, which is kinda disappointing. I'm very confused. As to why I'm still playing this game, because I didn't got the. Oh, I think I know what happened. I think I know what happened. I went that way. I think I needed to go this way. But yeah, I think it. But basically, it's what is selling right now, right? Like even Phantoms here is doing pretty well. Okay. How long do you take to read 100 chapters? That depends a lot. That depends a lot on the manga, because fuck yeah, there's the thing. Because for example, you can read 100 chapters of Baki in like a couple of hours. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say a couple of hours. Like you can read Baki just like. Each volume takes about like 15 minutes. No problem. So, yeah. But then you go and read like Bakuman, and each volume takes me about an hour to an hour and a half. So that really depends. And I'm comparing to manga that have the same amount of pages, because there's a lot of manga that has more or less pages. So yeah, that really depends. I'm gonna say I can read 10 volumes right now. I can probably read a manga that is 10 volumes long in like a couple of days, like 3-4 days, and that's because I don't have as much time as I used to. Because I think before I could read like 10 volumes in 2 days, no problem. Even one if I wouldn't do anything else. So yeah, I'm not sure if I skipped any question of the chat, so if I did, just please tell me. Moving on to the other, I think one of the last questions of the Twitter. So someone asked me, or Imoyokix asked me why do you prefer manga. I've already kind of answered this question, and he asked me what makes a manga good. And that's another thing that really depends on the manga. But if I'm gonna have to count the numbers in here in a little bit. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, 5. Okay, so if I was gonna say one thing that I think makes a manga good, I'm gonna say it's making you feel something. Because that's what I value the most. And what that manga makes you feel, it really depends on what the manga is trying to do. But, so for example, I really like Black Clover because it's really fun, it's really enjoyable. And you know, it makes me happy. It's a simple manga that I can just sit down, read, and just have a good time. And on the other hand, I really like a manga that is called Dragon Head, because it's the most tense I've been reading a manga. I never like, I was reading the first arc, the other arcs kind of as well, but the first arc specifically, and just, man, I couldn't sit on the chair. Just everything was just so nerve-wracking, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the fact that I could, that a manga could actually give me that feeling of just being that nervous and being that tense. Because I didn't knew I could. So yeah, I just, and like, I don't know, any manga that makes you cry, it makes you happy, that makes you it makes you angry if it's trying to make you angry. If it's a horror manga, if it makes you like kind of scared or uncomfortable, I really appreciate that. So I just want a manga that makes me feel things. Where do I read manga? So I tend to read manga on Mangadex or on Manga C, which is the places where you shouldn't read manga because they're illegal. I also buy manga sometimes. Physically, I bought a couple of them digitally. I bought Kasane digitally, for example, on Humble Bundle, because Humble Bundle sometimes has manga bundles, and if it has, I'm gonna try to buy them. And I read on Manga Plus, because Manga Plus is legal and it's the best place you should read manga if you're reading a manga that is available there. Araya when? Araya eventually, I don't know. I promise, story. I promise I'll read Araya. I've promised you before, and I will do it, but I'm not sure when. What if I read manga? I just read wherever. So if I'm on my computer, I read on my computer. If I'm at my home with my girlfriend, generally what I do is I steal her tablet and just read it on her tablet. And if I'm on the train or something, I just read on my computer because I don't have my own tablet. So there's a lot of places where I read it. And how big is my collection? Oh, shit. Fuck. How big is my collection? My collection is not that big. My collection is 100 volumes long. And it's 100 volumes long because I have 3 box sets. And these box sets have like 20 something volumes each. Do I remember how long it took me to read Bakuman? Yes, so the first time I read Bakuman, I read it while it was ongoing. So it took me a couple of years because I had to wait for the chapters to come out. as for the reread, when I bought it, it took me about a month because I was reading it physically and I was reading it on the train. So I had about 2 hours per day to read Bakuman, and it took me about a month. It was like a volume and a half a day. So yeah. Let me just... yeah, I shouldn't have done that. So in the last question from Twitter I have is to draft my top 10 protagonists, and so I did this off screen. And I should mention that I did this, but this is just a very random list of protagonists. But yeah, this Baki is finished. So Baki's not finished. It has various parts, and the first 4 or 5 are finished, and the last one isn't. Last one, I mean, there is one that isn't yet. Not sure if there's gonna be more after that. I've only read the first one. So my top 10 protagonists, as I did it on a whim a couple of hours ago. On number 10, I have Luffy, and this is kind of like my traditional shonen character manga, because I really like these kind of like traditional characters, traditional shonen jump characters like Luffy. I don't really like Naruto, but you know, I like Tanjiro, I like Goku, things like that. And I like Luffy the most, mainly because I like One Piece the most as well, and I've been reading One Piece for so long that Luffy is just part of my life. So I had to put it someplace in this list, and I decided to pick on number 10 because I don't know, it's just random. I like Tanjiro. Yes, I like Tanjiro. I'm not gonna put it on my top 10 list, but I like Tanjiro. I think Tanjiro is a decent character. I like Deku as well. A lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of trashing Deku recently on Twitter, and I really like Deku. No, I don't care about number 9, I have Keitaro from Lavina, just because I relate a lot to him, especially when I was a teen when I read Lavina for the first time. I saw myself a lot in Keitaro, and I still see a little bit of myself in Keitaro, so that's why he's on this list. Yeah, I haven't read I've read the last chapter that is legally out, so I'm not sure if that's the one you're talking about. I need to pause just for a second. And I kind of forgot. Yeah, read leaks. What's your opinion on the old Kimetsu? Okay, I'm gonna say my opinion on Kimetsu after I'm done with the list. So, at number 8, I have Oren from Dead Demons, the Destruction. And so Dead Demons is a manga from Asano, which if you guys do not know, it's the same guy who writes Goodnight Punpun and a lot of other manga. And I could have easily put Punpun on this list, but I just like Oren more. I think she's just hilarious, and in the recent chapters we got to explore her a bit more, and you know, get to see a little bit more layers of her. So she's hilarious and very funny, but she's not just that of stuff recently, and I appreciate that. Then I have Aruko from FLCL on number 7, just because. So I might as well say it, like Oran and Aruko. I just like really this crazy, insane girl trope. That's why I love Power, for example, as well. I just like that kind of character. That's kind of a Harley Quinn-esque character, I guess. So there's a couple of those in this But yeah, Aruka is just kind of like the perfect example. You thought this was gonna be a Q&A video. This is a Q&A video. I'm answering questions, but I'm playing game because I don't have a camera. So I needed something visual. So yeah, I just like the crazy girl characters. On number forgot, I have Yuko from XXolic, and she appears on Tsubasa Chronicles as well. I just really like her. She's like this really badass woman, and she's this mysterious kind of character, but she's like super funny as well. So I just love her, and she's one of the most visually appealing girls like that I have that I like. So that was number 5. So top 4. Says my taste is fine. My taste is I know that my taste is bad, and that's fine. It's my taste, so yeah, you guys are just gonna have to deal with that. So number 4, I think this is a character that everyone likes. I may be wrong, but I think everyone likes, and it's Guts. Like, I think everyone loves Guts. And I'm not sure if I need to explain why Guts is on a top protagonist list. Like, it's just so nuanced, and I really like. One of the reasons I like Guts that I'm not sure I've seen many people talk about is just how he complements in a certain way the villain. So Griffith, like they are such a contrast between each other, and I think that makes Guts a better main character and Griffith a better villain. So yeah, having Guts on number 4, everything else is probably gonna annoy everyone else, but on number 3 I have Denji from Chainsaw Man. And I just noticed I forgot one between Oren and Naruto. And the one between Oren and Naruto, so number 7 on my list, is Oga by Beelzebub, just because it's funny. I think I've mentioned on my videos, but I've written a couple things about him as well that I can link on the comments or wherever. I really like Olga. He's the best Delinquent character, so yeah. And in kind of the reasons why I like Olga and the reasons why I like Denji are similar. I think they're kind of like your traditional main character, but not quite. Like Olga is different because he's just like super mean and evil and stupid. And Denji, I really like his motivations, because it's easy to make fun of it and say, haha, he wanted to touch boobs. But like the implications of that is what I like, because Denji, like a lot of my other main characters, kind of was robbed of everything. Like, he doesn't have anything at the start of the manga, and in that way, it kind of reminds me of like, for example, Naruto, that he just kind of doesn't have any friends, doesn't have much to work for. Well, like Naruto uses that as like a motivation to show everyone that he deserves everything. And I think that's kind of what other main characters do. Like Asa does the same, Deku does the same. Denji doesn't even know he's worth something. Like his dream. I'm sorry I said like too many times, I'm just noticing, but Denji's dream is to have a sandwich, is to have sex once for all in his lifetime, because he doesn't think he's deserving of much more. Where he is, and I like that in the character, I like that exploration of things, of that character. So that's why Denji is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, shonen main character. So that tells you that the other ones is that the other ones are seinen. And I think number 1 is not going to be a surprise to anyone, so you can place your bets in the list and be right. But number 2 is Kasane, and I've mentioned Kasane a while ago, so I'm not gonna dwell too much on it. But yes, if you haven't read Kasane, again, read Kasane. It's a really, really fantastic manga. And part of the reason why it's so great is the exploration of the main character, and the fact that the main character is kinda like this at the same time the main protagonist and the main antagonist, which is not something you see very often. And yes, number 1 is very much Emanon, and I'm not gonna tell you why, because if you haven't read Memories of Emanon, you should read Memories of Emanon. It takes 30 minutes. Sakamoto is fucking great. I should have put Sakamoto in the list, but yeah, Emanon. It's just there's a reason why she's at the corner of this stream right now, and that's because she's the best. She is the fucking best. So yeah, that's my top 10 protagonists that I made kind of randomly. So don't take that list too seriously, because if you ask me tomorrow, it's probably gonna be different. Kasane is really, really MC, yeah. But again, that's why I kind of like her. And so Junk Dog is on the stream, and I'm gonna answer his question. He asked me on Analyst, and it's, what is the manga that changed my life the most outside of One Piece? And I died. And so, first thing I should say is that I don't think One Piece is the manga that changed my life the most. I think it's one of the most important to my life in terms of being there. It's very important in my life, but it's not life-changing. I think there's a little bit of a difference there. A manga that I maybe would say it's life-changing, and I'm gonna get... I guess the question is to get deep here, but I'm gonna get a little bit deep here. From those early days... Thank you. From those early days is most definitely Lavina, because like I started reading manga at the same time I fell in love for like the first time, and because I'm not the coolest guy ever, and I was not the coolest guy ever in high school either, I was even more lame. It was also like the first time that I started to discover what rejection was, and dealing with like all those feelings that very much suck. And Lavina was kind of like the manga that helped me deal with that, because again I related a lot to Keitaro and him wanting to, like him being in love with Narusegawa. Narusegawa reminded me a little bit of the girl that I liked as well. They were kind of, they're not too similar, but they were and a little bit similar. And so just it was kind of like a way for me to deal with that. So yeah, that was one of the earliest manga that helped me a lot in my life, that I think changed the way I saw things, at least romantically. And another manga that changed my life a lot, I'm just gonna jump on this bear a little bit because it gives you a life, and answer this. So the other one, yeah, I love Lavina a lot. Thank you. Thank you, lives. The other manga that I really think life-changing, it's super cliche, it's Oyasumi Punpun. I think a lot of people are gonna say you the same, and if you haven't read Oyasumi Punpun, you should check it out, and see for yourselves why probably a lot of people had like life-changing events with that manga. But one of the reasons why I did it is because I read Punpun at the lowest, like mentally at the lowest point of my life. I just was going through a very bad moment, and I was gonna spend some weeks or a week at my grandma's, and she didn't have any internet connection because I mean, she doesn't even know how to read. Why does she need internet? And I took a couple of manga, downloaded a couple of manga for my laptop to read, and one of them was Pun Pun, which at the time wasn't even finished. And I read it, and it was, I mean, it helped me so much at dealing with those emotions. Being like an entire week without having a connection to people also helped a lot. Like, you're a week away of social media, a lot of people probably need that as well at a certain point in their lives, and that was the time where I needed that. But I think Pun Pun also did a lot in helping me with that aspect. So yeah, those are the two. I think Solani as well is one that was really, really important. Asylum mangas, man, they just hit you hard and make you think a lot about life. So yeah. One for me was Nozokian. Nozokian is really nice. I wouldn't call it life-changing, but I really, really like reading it. Missing 2 boxes. Fuck. When will you continue Villain Saga? So the thing about Villain Saga is that I really want to continue because it's a manga that I have a 10 out of 10. It's a manga that I love a lot, and it's a manga that I haven't read since 2014 or 2015. I don't remember exactly. But I want to buy the volumes. I legitimately want to buy the volumes. So I probably will do that and read it physically, because I know it's a manga that it's worth having, especially because the volumes are really beautiful. I've seen them on like collections. I don't know if any of you guys have the volumes, but it looks really nice. Never had one in my hand, but yeah, just they look awesome. Have I read Saturn Return by Asano Isino's wife? No, I have not. I know that his wife is a mangaka, but I actually never had read manga from her yet, so if it's good, I'll try to read it. Flowers of Evil, Chainsaw Man, and Berserk are all fantastic manga. Flowers of Evil is one that I need to reread because I actually don't remember a lot from it, but it's a manga that is also, I remember that it impacted me a lot when I read it, and so I need to reread it again to just kind of remember the stuff. Very similar to Zerks. Okay, if it's similar, I most definitely need to check it out. Sorry. So I have 2 more questions, and then I guess I'm just gonna see how the stream goes. But it's looking fun, so I probably will continue for a little bit more. So Yashid Mohammed on my Dorodoro video asked me, what is another manga that I would consider fun to read? So if you haven't read, if you haven't watched my Dorodoro video, please do it. It's not doing, I mean, it's not doing bad, but it's not the best video in terms of views and things like that recently. But yeah, I mentioned like Dorodoro is the reason why I think it's my favorite manga. It's because it's the most fun to read, and that's also because it's very varied as well. I think that there's a couple of reasons why I like it. But yeah, other manga that I would consider very, very, very fun to read would be, there's probably a couple, but Kami-sama no Yutori Part 2, or I think the English title is God's Will or something, which is the death game manga. And if you like, I really like that game manga because they're dumb. They're generally bad. I'll tell you right now, that game tend to be bad, but they're so fun that I just can't help but read tons of them. But Kami-sama no Yutori is one that is legitimately good, and just it's good not because it's like, for example, I feel like Alice in Borderland is really good, but it has like a great story and so like some really cool characters. That's why it's good. Kami-sama no Yutori, it's not good because it has like a deep story or anything like that. It's so bold in the character, in like how it kills characters. Like you're watching a character and like they introduce you a character, and if they introduce you a character, the character is gonna last for like 100 chapters. It's gonna be like super important, or it's gonna die in the next couple pages. And then sometimes they introduce a character that it's kind of like looks like it's gonna be cannon fodder, but then it turns out it's like super important, and it's very important for like 30-40 chapters, and it kind of feels like a main character, and then it dies. They just kill it. Like you never know. Whenever a character appears, you can't be sure when it's gonna die. Never. And they die of the most absurd ways. The games that they play is the most ridiculous kind of thing ever, and it's just super fun. I mean, if you guys haven't checked, if you guys like that game manga, check it out. Check it out. Have I read Kingdom? I have not read Kingdom. I don't read that many ongoing, which is a thing that people should be aware. And especially like Kingdom is like 600 chapters, and it's, I wanted to say it's monthly, but actually I'm not sure if it's monthly. Maybe it's weekly, but it's pretty big. And I know I know I read One Piece and such, but yeah, that game one is Kami-sama no Yutori, or By God's Will, I think it's the English name. Okay, Kingdoms, it's weekly. And Black Torch, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna write the name. It's not gonna be with my account, but it's me. I assure you, it's me. Part 2, Kami-sama no Yutori. Part 2 is the part that I like the most. But you probably need to read part 1 to get the thing. Black Torch, I haven't read it. I've heard a couple people recommending. People were recommending it on Axel Plays' stream last week as well. So yeah, I'll try to check it out. As favorite dystopian manga, that's fucking. That's the thing that I need to look at the tags at Anilist and think, man. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say. Yeah, I was saying that I think people were recommending it, Black Torch, on your stream as well, weren't they? Like last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I think I'm probably gonna check it out. Wait for 5 seconds. I was not saying anything important. While I'm at it, well, if you guys aren't subscribed to the Dolphin Man Axel Blades Productions, be sure to check his channel out because it's awesome. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I'll check Black Torch eventually. There's tons and tons and tons of manga. That I need to read. And even if it got X earlier, that's fine. I read a lot of manga that get X earlier. I will always recommend the Gravity Boys. And I think it's great. And it got X'd, but I will never not recommending it. Yeah, so okay, so final question that I have from the list. By the way, I just want to fuck your minds right now and show you a fucking secret. Boom! Sorry, I really love Crash. And the question is by Snoo, and I died. Question is by Snoo, and it's, hey Crash, what is your understanding of what a masterpiece is? So this is a very, very, very hard question. Okay, so a masterpiece. First of all, I think there's various kinds of masterpieces. I don't think you can just say like a manga is a masterpiece, because a manga cannot be a masterpiece in every aspect, because no manga is perfect. And just to add a little bit, a couple of weeks ago I saw on Twitter a question of what was peak fiction, which I answered, and I said like peak fiction, which should be something that I think kind of transcends genres, kind of is like the culmination of a genre. And by that definition, I don't think anything is peak fiction. The closest I would say is actually Dorodoro, because Dorodoro does a lot of genres really well. It has this, kind of like this mix. It looks kind of like the combination of a lot of genres, a lot of manga styles, and it does it really, really well. Yeah, Art Gear is on hiatus. I kind of want to read it, and then I found out it was on hiatus. So, but yeah, masterpiece. I think there's a lot of masterpieces. So, for example, anything by Urasawa is. I don't want to say anything because he has a lot of manga, but like, I don't know, Monster, Billy Bat, 20th Century Boys. A lot of his manga are masterpieces. I don't think there's like too much you could argue there, because it's just such an intricate plot, and just so well done, so well constructed. I remember like while I was reading Monster, at certain points in time, I started like looking for filler in the manga, and I couldn't find it, because there is no filler in that manga. Pretty much everything is connected to the bigger picture. So yeah, like it's a masterpiece. I would call it One Piece masterpiece as well, for kind of the same reasons. The fact that it is ongoing for like 1,000 chapters, and it has like this such little details to the story that it's like, man, you can look at a panel in One Piece and analyze like all these little details, and they kind of are connected to the lore, and like there's so many things that are happening that aren't part of the main plot. But it just helps like constructing the world. So yeah, for example, I consider Pun a masterpiece because of like the emotional level of the story, the way that it combines the art styles as well is just kind of like genius. But like, for example, you can say like Dragon Ball, the way that the paneling and the battles and everything flows, you can say that's masterpiece. Like, not many people can do it as well as Toriyama did, even now. So yeah, there's tons of ways something can be a masterpiece. Is my Twitter link broken? I'm not sure. I'm gonna check. That's the link I've been using on every single video since the first one. And I'm not sure if anyone has ever clicked on it. But you can find me at manga_crash. It has the same avatar, same profile pic. So yeah. So that's all the questions that I had. So from now on it's free roam. Oh fuck, I could play as Coco. I like playing as Coco. So I don't know what we're gonna do. If you guys want to continue for much longer, if you guys have many more questions, I can do it for more 40 minutes, not much more than that. But yeah. Favorite mangaka? Actually, so fun thing. I was looking, fun thing for me. I don't know for you, I don't know if for you guys is, but I was looking at a forum that I've been part of that is closed, but recently they found out an archive of it, and it asks, and I was on a post I was saying my favorite mangaka. That post was from like 2014, so 6 years ago, or 7 years ago actually, because we're 2021. God, time passed fast. And they were essentially the same as they are right now. So that would be Urasawa. Like, anything by Urasawa is great. Asano. My new Asano again. Those are my two favorites, and I know it's a cliche pick, but they're fucking good, so wherever. So as a vote for the list, or like enlisted, I want to check out the ones I missed. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as a video, so everyone can check out later. So Asano, Urasawa, yeah, this is a classic, but I think every pick of mine are gonna be kinda cliche, because I have Oda as one of my favorite mangaka. The one I wouldn't say is a cliche is Matsui's Urusei Matsui, which if you guys do not know, Matsui is the writer of Assassination Classroom. And the Assassination Classroom is great, but I really love Nogami Nero, which is his debut manga, and I've mentioned tons of Nero in my videos, so if you watch like 2-3 videos of mine, you probably have seen me mention Nero in some capacity. And he also is doing The Elusive Samurai right now, and that's good as well. So he just does bangers, and his manga, like, the concepts, they're just so weird and random and funny. I don't know, I love it. It's very unique. Yuriko Horikoshi is a fantastic mangaka. How he never gave up after 2X manga. Yeah, I never actually read the X manga. I kind of want to read them. But yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that some mangaka come back after X manga. You know, Tabata as well, Kubo as well. That they didn't let that like make them quit. Kentashi Nohara, I really like Astra, and I really like Witch Watch. So I need to read Sket Dance, and maybe he'll get on one of my tops. And another mangaka that I don't think is a classic pick that I'm gonna name. Actually, two that I don't think are classic picks. One of them is Kanakamatsu, which is writer from Lavina, and I just mentioned Lavina, so yeah, I don't think it's a surprise that he's among one of my favorites. And the other one is Kawashida, Mizuko Kawashida. I think that's her first name. 2 boxes again, man. And so Kawashida does harem manga, but first of all, she's a female writer. She's a female writer in Shonen Jump who does harem manga, and not only that, but she does some of the best and most successful harem manga of all time. Like Ichigo 100% is. She has a couple of X manga as well, but even the X manga that I read are good. So yeah. So if you haven't read Ichigo 100%, you should. I also mentioned Atsukai Limited in my manga from Jump that you should read. So yes. Yeah, and I guess another classic tip that pick that you probably all know as well is Fujimoto, Chainsaw Man's writer and Fire Punch writer, and in the same vein, Kiyoshida from the Ridoro. I haven't read anything else from Kiyoshida, but like Fujimoto is just insane. Like Fujimoto is the mangaka that I would want to be if I was a mangaka. That's kind of story that I want to write. That's kind of story that I just love. That's why Chainsaw Man is 10 out of 10, like immediately, because it's the kind of story that I would write if I could. Or technically it isn't, because I'm writing a story, and it's kind of more similar. Actually, I don't know how similar it is to things, but oh, opinion on Demon Slayer 8. Yes, I'm just to address Jiro Matsumoto. I really like him. Freesia is really good. Wendy, he has a lot of like very underground manga that are good. And if you don't know Jiro Matsumoto, if you like Chainsaw Man, and if you like Dororo, you should check out some of this stuff. It's kind of different, but check out Freesia. That's my recommendation. And sorry, opinion on Demon Slayer 8 is, first of all, I think I don't like 8 manga in general. I think it's something that is kind of stupid. Like, you can dislike stuff, that's okay, but a lot of people just like to shit on manga, and just for the sake of being mean, or being mean to the fans. And I don't know, I don't like people being toxic, honestly. So if my opinion, like, I think Demon Slayer is, I don't want to say it's overrated, because yeah, I just said I don't like hating on manga, but I think I don't like it as much as the people do. I think the sales, I don't understand the sales. Let's just say that I'm still amazed at how this manga could sell well, because I don't think it's the greatest manga. It's the greatest Shonen Jump manga, even when it was running. I think it's fine. There's I really like I really like the main characters. Again, I like Tanjiro, I like Inosuke, I like Zenitsu, and I like a lot of the battles from the last arc. So I think there's a lot of good stuff in Kimetsu no Yaiba that a lot of people that kind of throwing hate do not seem to appreciate. On the other hand, people who love the anime, I don't get them. Again, it's just that if you do, you do. That's fine. I don't get them because I don't like the part the anime adapted at all. I think the parts that I like about Kimetsu no Yaiba all come like from the train arc and onwards. Those are the good parts, in my opinion. Those are the parts I think they're really, really good. But yeah, I mean, if you prefer the early parts, that's fine. That's this is my opinion, and you have yours, and whatever. So yeah, and I've seen the animation, and I think the animation is great. So I'll say that. Looking gets affordable treatment. Yes. People ate everything, and that's kind of the thing. But on the other hand, it kind of goes both ways, because, and I don't want to seem like I'm complaining, because like people watching my videos and commenting and interacting is always great, even if we don't agree on opinions. But like, I remember my first video that I made It's the video that I rate. It's not here. Huh. It's the video that I rate JJK as a 6 out of 10, and that made people very mad. In just in general. Like, and I thought, I mean, okay, I'm not sincerely very mad. There were some like comments like saying the one I disliked, and I'm not sure if you're watching the stream. If you're watching, sorry. The one I disliked was the guy that is kind of like trying to make me look like I didn't look that I didn't read Jujutsu Kaisen like fully because I didn't like it. And it's not that I didn't like it. I gave it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 is a positive score, in my opinion. And I mentioned a lot of things that I liked about Jujutsu Kaisen because I think Jujutsu Kaisen is technically, in the technical aspects of Jujutsu Kaisen is great. I just don't appreciate the story and the characters. Just not my thing. I can enjoy it. But yeah, there was this guy who said that I didn't like it because I didn't completed it and I should catch up to the manga before I talk about it. And it's kind of like, no man, the reason why I made the video in the first place is because I was following all of the manga weekly, just because I don't like one or just because I don't think one is as great as others, because I understand the fact that I rated shit like Gravity Boys higher than Jujutsu Kaisen. That's always gonna annoy some people. I understand why, because there are different kinds of manga and the Gravity Boys is just kind of like dumb and stupid, but I love it, and you cannot make me not love a Gravity Boys. That's just life. Deal with it. With that said, most of the people were very nice, and even the comments that were like disagreeing with me, they weren't too bad. So, are you gonna do that to me? So there's not much I can complain. Everyone's been pretty awesome. So and thank everyone for like everyone that commented, everyone that watches, everyone that subscribes. Just like the growth that I'm having. Like 250 subscribers, 270 subscribers in 3 months is just insane. I was not expecting. I was expecting to have like 60 subscribers, which was from people from AniList and from Discord servers. No, I was not expecting to grow from there. So yeah. Yeah, Gravity Boys had a decent run. 7 volumes is. It's pretty good. I would like it to have gone longer, but well, it's life. I'm used to having manga get axed. Oh, thanks, Outlook. You do too, by the way. Especially if anyone likes. I don't watch it. I plan on watching it or reading it, but if anyone likes World Trigger. Outlook is doing a lot of videos on it, so Anime Outlook. So check this channel out as well. So we send ITLC Supremacy. Have you? I'm not sure if I can spoil, but have you guys read the last chapter of ITLC? I don't want to spoil it. I think, but it looks. I don't want to say it's getting axed, but it looks like there's a lot of stuff that just. Kind of happening, like drastically changing, and it's kind of like I was just kind of like, oh, okay, this is happening. Whoa, I was not expecting at all. But yeah. But with that said, I think it's one of my least favorite of the 4. But all 4 manga that came on this batch were awesome. They were awesome. So. Yeah, the past first chapter annoyed me. That's fair. I think that's fair. I do think it gets better. It's so really early for. Yeah, that's the thing with it. It's like it's too early for an X. So I don't think it's getting X'd. But I mean, it's just there's a lot of drastic things happening. It's just kind of like it looks like Endgame, and it's chapter what 11. Nine Dragons, I like it. I think Nine Dragons is. I like any manga that does like the thing about like catching or gathering people, like meeting characters. For some reason, I cannot tell you why. Maybe it's because I like those early arcs of One Piece and it's kind of like nostalgic to me or something. No idea. But I really like stories that go about like slowly meeting a crew, and so that's also why I'm one of the very few people that like early Reborn, because not anyone, and I know Broken Rorin also just called it the worst manga ever because he read like the first couple of chapters and he really hated the early chapters, and a lot of people were kind of like, yeah, it gets better later on, and these early chapters are bad. I like them. I really like them. I like meeting the characters. I like the gag aspect of it all. Does it get better? Yes, it does get better. But yeah, I think the early chapters of Reborn are nice. I prefer the first chapter of Reborn than I do the last like 2 chapters of Reborn. And hey, welcome Aoki. We're probably not gonna do a stream for much longer, but I don't know, maybe 20 minutes more. Maybe 20 minutes more. We'll see. Also, I'm not sure what you guys are thinking of the Crash gameplay. I don't remember who, but someone asked if Crash was my real name on the chat, and no. So the reason why I'm called Crash is because of this guy, this little guy here that you're watching me play. Because I had Crash 3 as a kid, and it was the game that I played the most, and I just love it. That's why I picked Crash as well. The idea is from Ketchup. Credits for him, because originally I was thinking about playing 80s, because that's the game that I've been playing. He said like you should play Crash, and yeah, I just thought it was a bad idea. So yeah, my real name, it was you. Sorry. So my real name is Pedro. So yeah, because I'm Portuguese. Crash is not a Portuguese name. I want to look at what you said, Killen, but I'm gonna die. Okay, I can. Reborn is normal distribution. Middle is good, and the beginning at the end are mad. Yeah, that's kind of it. Again, I like the beginning, but it's not as good. The last couple of arcs are great, but the ending itself, I think it's really bad. It's not good. So yeah, that's my opinion of Reborn. And again, I was like looking at the forum that I was talking about. It's like 10 years old, and I had Reborn very high on my top 10 list that I also had there. I think it was like number 7 or something, which is kind of weird because I would not put Reborn in like my top 20 manga at all. But it's a good manga. Like I think overall it's a good manga. That was the wrong key. This children is too good for any sports series to survive. I don't think so. I think there was a couple of problems with Beast Children. I think one of the main positives of Beast Children was the the guy, the team leader. I really like that character, but the main character was okay. I think the rivalry was okay. Do I have double? No, I don't have double jump. So yeah, I think I like Nine Dragons more than I like the Beast Children. If I'm planning on I'll lie there all the time. That's not fine. That's fine. You're gonna check new manga by Reborn Mangaka. I might check it. I want to read the one that she wrote before, AD Live or something, because I found out about that not that long ago. I didn't know she had anything other than Reborn, and I found out that she has like a manga that is completed, has like 60 volumes. So I can check that, and then maybe I'll check the other. It's probably many mainstream anime YouTubers haven't been fans of it or Reborn. Okay, so my cat is asking for something, so I may not have much time left. I'm gonna try to finish this level. Going up now, this experience. Thanks, Ring Dog. Have fun. Yeah, I'm not gonna be too much longer, so I'm not sure if you guys have any final questions that you wanna throw my way. I was looking at the chat. Thankfully, I have 19 lives. I was looking at chat again. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention. But yeah, if you have any other questions, just do them, and then I'll answer those, and I'll wrap this up. If there's one that you guys asked, or if you saw someone asking the channel and the chat and I've missed, tell me, and I'll answer those as well. Nope. That's that all. Okay. Okay, so I don't think there's much more. Either way. It's my most anticipated upcoming anime. So, okay, so the thing is, I know you don't know me for that long. I don't watch anime. So generally, if I'm anticipating an anime, it's because I kind of want to see how people react, or because I kind of want to see how that affects the community, like the manga. So one of those that I'm really hyped to see more people watching is Shaman King, because I watched the Shaman King anime on television when I was a little kid, and it was great. It was a manga that I've read when I started reading manga, and it's great. And if you guys did not grow up with Shaman King, or haven't read Shaman King in any capacity, or have watched the anime and this is the first experience, boy, you guys are into a great one, because it's one of my favorite battle shonens. Other than that, I don't think I have any other anime that I'm... Oh, and of course Chainsaw Man. I might check out the Chainsaw Man anime. Even if it's just like 1 or 2 episodes, but I don't know when that will come out. So I might do the same that I did with Torodoro. With Torodoro, I checked the first 2 episodes to see if the adaptation was good, and it was. I liked the episodes that I watched. I'm probably gonna do the same with Chainsaw Man, because it's kind of, both of those are kind of like this weird manga style that I don't think it's translates very well to anime, and I'm very happy what they did with Torodoro. Okay, so this is fast, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna look at the chat because it's gonna be very fast. Okay, I died. Your Shaman King ending isn't good. So the thing is, Shaman King has two endings. The first one, the original one, is by far one of the worst endings that I've ever read. But the thing about that ending is that it's not an ending per se. It's kind of like the guys are gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna go and fight the bad guy, the villain that we've been hyping up for the entirety of the series right now," and they go into the final fight, the final room or wherever, and the manga ends there. It doesn't have an actual ending. It just ends abruptly there. So yeah, that's why the original ending is one of the worst things ever. But they rewrote it. And it's the new ending that they rewrote it later that's going to be animated, because it's the 35 volume version and not the 32 volume version. So yeah, you should not be too worried about the ending. It's gonna be good. I should not be okay. I'm gonna just finish this boss or quit the boss, depending. I might just quit the boss. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna stop playing. So there was a question. Okay, so Silver asked what. No, Big Talk asked what manga series do I think has the best covers. Silver said My Hero Academia, and I agree. My Hero Academia is as one of the best covers. And to mention Kasane for like the 4th time in this video, just look at them. Just Google Kasane like Volume 1, Volume 2, whatever. Just look at the covers, and just tell me if it isn't some of the most beautiful covers you've seen. Yeah, those are some of my favorites. I'm trying to think of more, but right now I can't. Like on top of my hand, I really can't. Beyond the Clouds, I haven't read it, so I cannot tell you. I haven't even looked at. I don't think I've ever heard of Beyond the Clouds, but I'll be sure to check it out as soon as the stream ends. And what do I think about Eden and Endless World? Okay, so I've read Eden years ago. We're talking like 9 years ago. So I don't actually remember plot points from Eden. What I can tell you is that I remember absolutely loving it when I read it the first time. I remember that it automatically jumped like top 5 of manga that I'd read by then. So yeah, I think it's a great manga, but again, I don't remember much of it right now. It's due a reread. And Roboco covers are nice. I really like them because they're like parody of other covers. The only 2 that are out. And I'm really curious. It's one of those covers that I'm really curious for the reveal. So yeah. Chainsaw Man, by the way, has also really good covers. Just throwing that out there. Read Alive? No, I have not read Alive. I know what it is. I haven't seen Volume 3 yet. I was not aware that it was out. But I will be checking out really soon. The video game series apart from Crash. Okay, so I skipped. Yeah, I think that's the only question I missed. Okay, favorite game aside from Crash, I would say Silent Hill 2. Because Silent Hill, any Silent Hill, like the first 4 Silent Hills, a lot of people don't like the 4th one. I think it's different, but it's still really good. Yeah, see Outlook. I'm wrapping up, but yeah, I'm just gonna answer this one. But any Silent Hill game is great because it's a different kind of horror than you're used to seeing in other games, especially at the time that they were released. Especially like in the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era. The closest thing you had, and honestly that Silent Hill was based on, was Resident Evil. But Silent Hill went on it on a completely different way from Resident Evil. The gameplay is similar, yes, but Silent Hill was just so much about this psychological horror, about this like deep lore of the characters and the city. And Silent Hill 2, because most Silent Hills are about the city and about the cult of the city. So Silent Hill 1 is about the wherever the gods and wherever, like the religion of and the cult of the city. 3 is a direct sequel to Silent Hill 1, so it's kind of is about it as well. And 4 is a bit different, but it's also about the cult in a couple of ways, and about a serial killer that is a member of the cult. But Silent Hill 2, we'll get there, catty, little kitty. Okay, Bamix, he's meowing a lot. Silent Hill 2 is just, it's about the person, it's about the main character, and it's all about the dog. It was all dog. Yeah, that's the best ending. I don't want to spoil much if you haven't played Silent Hill 2, because you need to play it, and it's the great thing about it is the story, but the fact that it's all about this character, and when you get the bigger picture, when you reach the ending, which there's multiple endings, like Killen mentioned the dog one, which is a joke ending that you can reach if you finish the game once, but there are many endings, and when any ending that you reach, you kind of get this bigger picture. See ya, LQ. And it's just, I don't know, just one of the best stories I've ever read, or played or watched or whatever. It's great. And last question: have I tried Monster Hunter? I did, the DS one. The thing about it is that when I bought my 3DS, I bought the Monster Hunter Generations Deluxe Edition, which came pre-packed with Monster Hunter. The thing about it is that my friends, and Killen knows, Killen was there, and Killen, another friend of mine, we went to the beach. This was years ago. I'm not sure if he remembers, but we went to the beach, and he played, and they all had like Monster Hunter Generations, and they suggested we played them. So we played the DS on the beach, and for some reason, like, his DS was fine and the other guy's DS was fine, but my DS died. My DS just died because it's like sand got inside. So we very cheekily, because this was 1 week after I got the DS, we cheekily just returned it. I said like, oh, the screen just stopped working. I don't know why. So, and it just traded. So they wanted to trade it for another Monster Hunter Generations version, but it was sold out by then. So I had to get a normal DS, and I basically didn't get the game back. So yeah, I played Monster Hunter like twice. It was fun, but yeah, I don't have much more opinions of it. My favorite Nihi manga, I don't like Nihi. I've only read 2 manga from Nihi, which was Abra and Biomiga, and I didn't like any of those 2. So I plan on eventually reading Blame or Blame. But yeah, I don't like Nihi. I just think it's too ambiguous. It feels like he doesn't want me to read it. It feels like he doesn't want me to tell the story that he's writing. So I don't like that. That's it. I like the art style. The art style is really great. The atmosphere is really great. But anything other than that, I just don't like it. And yeah, I do need to go now. So it was great. Thanks to everyone that did pop up. Thanks for everyone that subscribed, and thanks to everyone that is watching this later on down the line. And yeah, we'll see if we can reach to 1K by the end of the year. So yeah, bye, and have fun. Okay, I'm still not out. Okay, now I'm out. Bye.